You guys getting some work done with the girls?
Yeah, they're doing. Are you videotaping?
I am.
They are figuring out what to do for water quality. We finished the soil quality, now they're making bracelets to pass the time.
I like it. You guys are making some nice bracelets? That's a yeah. How about you, Maria? Are you making some bracelets? Yeah, you are. What you guys doing over here?
We're learning about soil erosion. Yeah.
Soil erosion. Very nice. Are you guys teaching them up really well?
Yeah. I don't know what this is.
Good deal. Let these guys know what's going on. They don't always know.
It causes famine. So it's bad.
Especially Jasmine. What have you?
What?
Do you know what's going on?
They know a lot of words.
Figures. It's all good. Soil testing, correct?
That's right.
Oh.
So much fun.
You teaching these guys up well? I'm videotaping in case you're wondering. I don't have my actual camcorder on me. How about you?
I'm cool.
You good?
Sure.
What's your favorite part so far?
Yes?
What's your favorite part of everything so far?
Oh, right now I really like what you're doing right now.
Just getting a little chemistry going on?
Chemistry is fine, and I really love chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. Everyone seems to be having fun. That's good. Oh, we'll videotape the football game. We're below the equator. It's called football now.
So what we thought was it was in between those two.
Water quality over here. Isn't that right, Steph?
Yep. We'll talk about it.
Andy, what kind of stuff we got going on with the water quality?
Huh?
What kind of stuff we doing with the water quality?
Alright, well we're doing some pH testing. Looks like we're looking for phosphate, nitrate, and ammonia. And these were taken from 4 different locations throughout the Maasai Girls School. 2 by the coffee plant, 1 by where we have our water, and then 1 within the compound here where they get their water too.
Very cool. And over here, we have Janet working with some insects that we got.
Quite a number of insects, God.
Oh yeah,
It's a grasshopper.
big old grasshopper.
Grasshopper.
Yeah, I can see it.
We got
Then we have some moth here. It's a moth. As you can see it.
yeah.
It's moth. Then we have some butterflies around. Woof. Butterfly.
Nice millipede with that.
With millipede there. And a housefly also. There it is.
Oh, very nice catch.
Good.
You know, more butterflies. Oh, it's
Sure.
looking good. Big one, big moth, butterfly down here. Very cool.
Sure.
Everything going good?
Going great.
Oh, look at that. Entomology. Bug heaven. As you can see, we're doing some good stuff over here.
Walking past.
Oh, on a mission. What about your buddy? What made your experience great?
Well, I really bonded with one of the girls. Her name was Naduku, and she was pretty shy the first day, so you had to get her to break out of her shell. But once you got her talking, you just had to ask her some questions and really get to know her. But she's a great girl. She's smart, intelligent, and funny, and she has some great stories. And she's just like any other girl you would get to know, but it made it really hit home on a personal level. And see what these girls do. They work so hard on their studies. Like, they're out studying right now, and all of us are here playing cards, but they're studying for exams. They have exams tomorrow, and they've been, doing all these great field exercises with us all week instead of studying for their national exams. But they're a great group of girls, and it was really great getting to know all of them.
Was your goodbye tougher than you thought it would be?
Yeah, it was definitely hard. Like, we've only been here for 3 days, but It's definitely felt like it's been longer than that, and there were hugs, and I know there were some people that were almost in tears, and we all exchanged email addresses and addresses so we could, mail gifts and send cards and things like that. So it was definitely harder than I thought it would be.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I was just telling somebody, but I didn't really expect it, and I don't know if that was me being a little judgmental or whatever, but the girl that I got close with, she was really cool, and she reminded me of one of my friends, and it was like I could be her friend. I don't know, it was just really cool to see that, like, they're not, they're normal people. I don't know. I don't know if that sounds bad, I guess. But yeah, that was my unexpected thing. And then my other thing was like, they have very little, and they like make do with it, and that's crazy to me because I have so much and I take it for granted ridiculously because like, I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot, and like things that are important. So probably this, I learned more about myself than I learned about anything. Probably the same for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, I'm Greta, and when I first got here to Maasai Girls School, I didn't really know what I was getting into just because everyone was just like doing their own thing, and we were doing like research projects, and then I don't know, meeting the girls and like listening to their stories is just like fulfilling, I guess, because you don't know everything they've been through. And then I really got close to a girl named Natasha, and she kind of just like told me her whole life story, and it was really like, it just made me really appreciative for everything that I've had just because I know what she's been through. And I don't know, I just really am appreciative that I've had this experience and thankful, and it makes me really happy to see how happy they are with everything they have and make do with what they have. And it's just, going back home is going to be different, I guess, and I'm going to not take things for granted, so yeah.
So the first 2 days were fun and very eventful, but didn't really realize the impact it had on me until the last day where they gave us a goodbye ceremony, and it just tied everything together, made me realize how much of an impact these girls had on my life. And as you can see, I'm braceleted up with memories that I'll never forget.
Thank you.
Okay. My favorite part of being at the Maasai Girls School was definitely when we would get together after chapel and we would form a little dance circle with a bunch of the girls, and we would all just do pretty funny, goofy dance moves with all of them and kind of get them out of their comfort zone a little because they're all pretty shy. So that was pretty great and really fun to do.
You going? Mm-hmm. All right. I guess at first I was really kind of hesitant to come here because I didn't really know what to expect. And I guess, touring around, I had this really warped idea of what these girls would know. Or, I don't know why, but I had this really unbiased or really biased approach to things, and where I thought, these girls, I almost like wanted to treat them like a little kid at first. And then my biggest wow moment, I mean, everyone's talked about it, was when that girl recited a perfect definition of double fertilization, and I just went, oh, these girls know so much. And it really blew my mind because I really, like I said, I had this warped idea that they weren't going to be very, educated, but these girls, maybe it's because we had toured other villages where people didn't value education as much, but these girls, I mean, it's everything to them. They don't take anything for granted. And I know myself, I'll go to the library and just sit around and not want to do anything because it's like, oh, I don't want to study right now. And these girls just can't get enough of it. And that was really striking to me. And a lot of that, I mean, I think comes from their professors are so great. And this is a chance for them to really make a difference. And they're empowered. And I guess seeing how women are treated in this culture, and I mean, this almost stems across the world as well. These women they're just so empowered to be not equal, but to be the best they can be, you know what I mean? I mean, equal almost like diminishes what they're striving to be because they want to be extraordinary, and they can. I mean, some of these girls are so smart and so bright, and they just have a light about them. And I mean, I know Janet had talked about how we're halfway around the world, but some things stay the same. And for me, it was the smiles and the laughter and the kind of the light in their eyes. And when we were at chapel one morning, it really struck me because I know some people have said waking up for 7, 8 in chapel. I mean, I barely go to church as it is, and we're going there, and these girls, it's all led by the students, you know. And these girls are so responsible, and they do it all themselves, and they really transitioned. They really kind of eased us in with English the first day, and then went to different languages with Maasai and Swahili, and they got us involved. They helped us, and they didn't look at us as outsiders. I mean, at first they were hesitant with us because we were new, but just such a hospitality, a high level of hospitality and just kindness and love that they shared with us. And I really got to know this girl named Happy, and she was so great. And I didn't realize it until today when we were doing almost like this goodbye ceremony, but she has a beautiful voice, and she was singing, and she was just so great because she helped me when we went to the market. She was my translator, and she's just got so much she wants to do. And I mean, I feel like there's nothing that can hold any of these girls back because they're empowered, and they're taken away from their homes, you know, basically abducted to be here because their heritage and their society and their villages where they're from don't value them or their education. And it's just really amazing to see how they've taken full advantage of it. And the staff here with the headmaster Seth and Mr. John, I mean, they're just great people, and they all care so much, and it's really cool to see how they empower each other. And I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to forget it because I've learned so much about myself and what I take for granted, and how these girls really, they value everything, and every day is beautiful, and they find the greatness in little things, and just our presence was enough for them where we could learn from each other. And honestly, I thought I wasn't going to learn that much, but I mean, Dr. Whitaker had said that science was kind of our bridge to really get to know each other, and it was almost like an icebreaker because we did things together, we collaborated, and we weren't just showing them how to do things, we were working with them, we were laughing with them, and we just shared so many stories, and it was so great to just everything I absorbed was great. And if I could do it again, I would, and I'd tell anyone else who could do it to do it because it was amazing. And honestly, these 3 days have been so quick, and I wish there was more because it really kind of made me think about doing service in this kind of area, especially because, I mean, people value everything, every little thing, and it's not about getting the newest gadget, it's about life and just bettering themselves. And I feel like that's something we can all kind of take more of back home. So that's really what I learned.
What impressed me the most about my visit to the Maasai Girls School was the diligence of the girls. Many of these girls actually don't have the most supportive home lives. Some of them, most of them actually, the girls their age back in their village are married off, and they don't get the type of education that they are provided with here. And I just thought it was amazing that they're actually able to come here even without the support of their parents, because I think about my life and I think about how supportive my parents have been. And the fact that even though they didn't necessarily grow up in an environment that was very conducive to showing that education is important, they still value it so much. A really good example of that, I think, was on the first day when we were doing presentations, and some of the girls just blew all the Concordia students away when they talked about double fertilization, or when they were drawing pictures of the phylum and the the phloem and the xylem on the board. It was just amazing how well they grasp knowledge comparatively to me. And I guess that's really what was the most impressionable, was the fact that the girls are so diligent to their studies and so dedicated to wanting to change the world.
Thank you. What did you enjoy most?
I enjoyed being able to teach the girls
different things that I thought that they knew, like showing them a picture of an elephant. One girl had never seen an elephant, and the fact that they live in Tanzania, and one of the biggest reasons we came here was to look at all the animals and everything, and she had never seen an elephant. And that, it just shocked me, and it was kind of just, I don't know, it was just, I couldn't put words to it because I was so surprised that she's from this country and never seen an elephant. So just sitting there going through all my pictures and being able to teach them while they taught me was just amazing.
Thank you. What did you enjoy most?
Well, I really liked the faculty-student volleyball game. That was a lot of fun, and really just talking to the girls and getting to know what they want to do in their future and where they come from. And it was just a blast to really get to know a bunch of other girls that are very lucky to have the opportunity they do. And it was just really fun getting to know them.
Would you do it again?
Definitely.
Excellent. Right now, and I mean, whenever you guys...
So it's running?
Maybe.
Someone's at the, I think that's JD. What are you doing,
What's up, JD?
He wants to join. You want to be in our interview? We're filming.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, he doesn't want to be in
You guys all going to bed or what?
Yeah.
Is Lacey still in there?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is he going?
Good night, JD.
Night.
You guys can talk. Was there anything that really stuck out for you guys that maybe you didn't expect, or something that you're never gonna forget?
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay, so the first day we went to chapel, and I wasn't too excited about that because it started at 7 a.m. and I'm not really a morning person. But as soon as we walked in, we sat by all the girls. Everyone spread out. It was really great. And then all of a sudden, just this roar of noise came at you, and everyone was singing, and it was just really, really surprising and really uplifting.
Really kind of caught you off guard, and
It did. It woke me
kind of
up.
like boom, you're here.
Right.
Was there anything similar like that? Maybe a different experience?
I mean, kind of, and like the whole point of being here is to interact with the girls, and that was really like my favorite part because I think the best part was like talking with them one-on-one, interacting with them that way, and like sometimes we got together and danced after chapel, and they seemed to really enjoy that, and then we got to hear their stories also and like get to know the kids on a one-on-one basis.
So it's really the hanging out with the kids, the side stuff. We really get to know them, and
yeah,
they
and
become more human for you, don't they? You know what I mean?
Right. These kids had like some special attributes, like they were really seemed to be more open and genuine with their emotions.
Yeah, it was great. The first day, everyone was kind of a little bit shy. Even we were on our side. By today, everyone was opening up. We exchanged email addresses. It was great. So.
Did
really
it feel
got
like the goodbyes were tougher than you thought they would be?
Yes.
It's like high school graduation all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, really?
Yeah,
And we've been here for 3 days.
We've been here for 3 days, yeah.
Very good. That was awesome.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. When I came to the Maasai Girls School, I saw that we had to go to chapel twice a day for 3 days. Kind of wondering what would happen with all that. But on Monday, we sang in English. On Tuesday, we sang in Swahili. And the last day, we sang in Maasai. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Except I got my days wrong.
Oh, well.
That's okay?
It's all good.
All right.
Go.
I think it's super beautiful that Concordia has this relationship with the Tanzania school, the Maasai Girls School, and that Concordia alumni started it or helped start it, and then we are still in communication, even though it's halfway around the world, and we're not as in communication with the alumni anymore. And then the second thing I want to talk about is the inspiration that the girls brought to us, because we all complain about studying and how much work we have to do all the time, but these girls are they just want to study, like they love learning and they just want to do more of it, and that was really cool.
Thank you.
So for future students interested in coming here, I know I was a little unsure, a little unsteady, but just go and embrace every moment. It was, from the first time at that chapel, hearing like their voices together was the most beautiful experience I've ever heard, and just getting to know them through the week we've been here has been so amazing, and they're just all so happy and so grateful for anything you do. So just go in and embrace every single moment you have. Don't hold back. It's just.
Would you do it again if you had the chance?
I would be here in a heartbeat. If I ever had the opportunity to come back, I'd be back in a second.
Thank you.
The Maasai Girls School experience has been really great for me and very touching for me personally on a few levels. The first one that really hit me was when we were first introduced to the headmaster. He came up and he spoke to us and he talked about, just how happy he was for us to be here. He wanted the girls to take advantage of that opportunity to learn from us and for us to learn from them. And he also mentioned how he was proud of one of his students, which was really cool to see. And then going past that, another thing that I thought was just amazing was there was a moment where we were doing presentations and there was a question about double fertilization, and one of the girls just elaborated on the process. And it just showed how much hard work they put into learning things, as it sticks with them for so long. And that kind of brought up the thoughts of, differences in education in America to here in Africa, and how much they value their education here and how much it means to them. And I think about my experiences back home and how it's, there's so many kids that are just like, oh, it's school. School doesn't matter. School's not important. But for them, it's everything here. And for that, to see that passion within someone is, very motivating. Going into the future, for students that might come here in the future, years to come, I would say definitely bring with your ideas, bring an open heart. Be prepared to have these girls, make a special place in your heart. And, if there's anything that you want to do, don't be shy to just open up to them and have a great time, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It will change you forever, and, hopefully a lot of us will be back.
Thank you.
Good.
You're going.
Okay. So going to the Maasai Girls School, I think is really important because you don't get that experience to try something new. I think we're really confined to our own area, and we don't really understand what life is like for other people. And I think it's easiest for us to look at education as something that everybody gets, and it's something that's kind of part of your life. But coming here, you really see how much these girls value what they're getting, whether it's education or just a place to stay. And so, for when people come here, they have to remember, how important it is what they're doing. For maybe us, it might seem like a little thing. We're just visiting a group of girls, but to them, it's something a lot bigger. And so for people maybe thinking about doing this or who are just more interested in it, it's something that you really have to look at on a deeper level than just going to help a bunch of girls at school. I mean, you're really showing them new things that they'll never know unless you're around them, and you're giving them kind of inspiration to keep going to school and keep doing the things that they're doing, because if they stop doing that, their life would never go as far as they can with this education. So I think that doing things like this, you learn a lot about yourself, what's important, things that you need to value, but you also are able to teach these girls lessons that they wouldn't get from people that are just like that. We get to show them experiences, ways in which we think, and then they also show us ways in which they think, and I think that makes benefits both sides of it too. So it's just really important to branch out, try something new, and really learn a lot about yourself, and then a lot about the people that you're working with.
Thank you.
So I think my biggest surprise coming here was how friendly and loving all the girls were. And it really reminded me of my favorite Bible verse, which is 1 John 4:18, which says, "There's no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, for fear has to do with punishment, and those who fear are not made perfect in love." I think it really encompasses the girls and all they are, because they're so loving, even though they've been through so much hardship in their lives. Some don't have supportive parents, and I could not imagine what that would be like. My family has always been very supportive of whatever I want to do, and I think it's so wonderful that these girls are so focused on their studies and so willing to share their knowledge and their experience and their culture with all of us. I learned a lot, not only about the culture and different ways of life here, but also about myself and how thankful I am for everything I have, and how thankful I am for just meeting all the girls and learning through them about life and love.
Thank you.
I guess one of the biggest things that surprised me was how excited they were to learn. I also learned how much some of them have gone through to get here and all that experience, so it's kind of understandable, but even so, it's really surprising how pretty much any subject you want to talk about, they're interested and they want to learn more, and yeah.
Thank you.
I think my biggest surprise was the level of education that they're actually getting here. I think that that a lot of these students would do very well at at a school like Concordia or anything like that. And also I think what was really cool was the chapel services and that type of thing, and how loud they were singing. That was just incredible. But I think overall, I think the the positive atmosphere of the school was surprising to me, and the welcoming to us and our type of people, kind of people. Yeah, and for how little they have, I think it's surprising how positive they are towards their situation and towards us as well. And yeah, I think just figuring out ways to help them is kind of a difficult thing to do, because so they don't look at us as just a source of funding, but also a source of knowledge and that type of thing. But we also want to support them in the best ways that they, or in any of the ways that they need us to. So, even if that is monetary. But yeah, so I think that was the most surprising thing was their positive attitude towards us being here, and the chapel services were awesome.
Well, I was just surprised by pretty much everything. I was really impressed by just the stories, and especially that first day when the headmaster told us all about just how difficult it was, and the drama that's around getting these girls here and getting them to be independent is really impressive. And at first I was afraid it was just going to be kind of an awkward experience, but all the girls were so nice, and it was just really amazing to be able to bond with them over just 3 days, and they were really sad to see us go, which was kind of touching, but it was definitely worth it.
One of the things that this has made me realize is that there's a universality to the world, that we're halfway across the world, but some things are always just the same. There's hugs, there's smiles, there's hand holding, there's music, there's laughter, both with people and at people. We've been doing both of that this time, and it's what made those connections between us, is all those universal things that we as humans share. And that's the big lesson I think I've learned from coming here.
You can ask me, or want me to just start?
You can just go. I mean,
all right, I'll try to
you want me
just
to
go.
ask you something?
Well, you can ask too. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to repeat what a lot of other people said, but I think my biggest thing I think was knowing what it meant for them to come here, leaving their families, leaving their culture in a lot of ways. I think that was a really big thing. I don't think I realized the idea that they were practically abducted from their families to be kind of pulled away. I've met one of the former Maasai girls at Concordia, and it's interesting to reflect back and see her in class and think about what she'd been through here. And then to look and see the impact this place would have in their lives, as opposed to them being married at 12 or 14, stuck in what is unfortunately a dying culture. And to see them having an opportunity to actually go leave that culture, to go and be the next stage in that, to be the next step, and hopefully preserving their way of life in a lot of ways, and in a lot of ways hopefully preserving and pulling the country into a better economic setting, into a better health setting, into a better setting in general. So I think that's a big thing. I think I was expecting it, but I don't think I was expecting to see it as strongly as I think I saw it. And then to watch the students and have them realize, I think, how good we have it, and to have us see where they're coming from and what they're doing, and understand that they have a lot in common with them. Even though they come from extremely different backgrounds, that there's a lot of common ground. While we did some science, I think science sort of, in a way, was able to serve as a bridge between the two groups. Talking about double fertilization, giving each other a hard time about what they knew and didn't know, but I think it was a really nice way to get the two to connect, or you guys and them to connect. And I think that was really special for me to see that connection going. I knew there'd probably be a lot of crushes and a lot of interest in what was going on, but I think just the level of seeing our students drawn into them and them drawn to our students, I think was a far more than I was expecting to see.
Is there anything you really learned about yourself in this, or?
Yeah, I think there's a lot that I'm still, I think, sorting out in my head. Yeah, it's hard to really articulate. I think I'm still kind of processing a lot of it, but but certainly I feel extremely fortunate, extremely lucky, and this is the type of thing I would really like to see Concordia get more strongly involved with. I think Concordia could make a huge difference with very, very little effort. I think each of us could make a huge difference with very little effort and very little either academic or time. I think we could make a huge difference with very little input, and I think it would mean a lot to them. So.
Thank you.
Sure.
Well, I think one of the most important pieces of reflection for me about staying at the Maasai Girls School is the amazing impact that the school has on their lives and the choices that they make in order to come here. They're very likely giving up they may be giving up their time with their family. They're giving up their connection to the community, and they may in fact even be altering their ability to interact with their entire culture. So the personal sacrifice that every girl makes in order to come here is huge in terms of what it does to them personally, and hopefully it will have that same impact ultimately on the Maasai culture that they move back to. The other thing about that is despite this huge impact it has, the girls are coming here so joyfully, just very happy to be here. They're excited to learn. They work hard. Their educational standards are great. They're doing a great job here, and they really do look like they're getting set up to make an impact on the world. And I think that's really amazing. Another reflection I have is the impact that I see this experience having on the students that they came to the Maasai Girls School here with our Ecology of East Africa class. I see a lot of personal reflection happening, and I see this opening up doors that they never knew existed before. Some students may want to come back here. Some students may find that this opens the door to working in developing nations and making a different kind of difference in the world. So I think that it's been a great 3 days.
Excited to come back?
In 3 years, yeah, I am. We'll get to hopefully see some of the same girls, and also exciting is maybe we'll see some of those girls at Concordia in a few years.
Cool, thank you.
So instead of playing volleyball, I decided to just hang around and talk with a bunch of the girls. And it really struck me that a lot of them didn't know that much about America, and they had so many intelligent questions, and it just was really interesting to see how much these girls knew, even though some of them were Form 1 and Form 2, and they were asking questions that I would not think to ask when I was 12 years old. So it was just really interesting and inspiring to see how smart and intelligent these girls are, and how much of a bright future that they have, and hopefully that they all get to go to university, just so the world can see how great they are.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Laura, and I'd like to thank you all for what a great experience I've had here at the Maasai Girls School. It was definitely more than just a biology experiment. I learned more about myself,
Maasai girls, the culture, and it's been such a deep and powerful spiritual movement for me. Every time I see one of these girls smile and their eyes light up, or I hear them singing, something inside me just thanks God for every single moment I have here. And I bless you girls, and I hope they follow through with all your dreams.